The Minister of State for Finance, Planning and Economic Development in charge of General Duties, Henry Musasizi, has appeared before the Finance Committee of Parliament to defend the tax bills of 2025. Among the bills include the Income Amendment Bill 2025, which proposes an extension of tax waiver to Bujagali Hydropower Dam. This move has remained a nightmare as some MPs cite foul play in the process.
That whole contract has so many issues. And now we sit here as a parliament and continue to give exemptions.
And one of the recommendations that we looked at was renegotiation of this contract. And I remember when you had the engagement with the Attorney General, he agreed that it was done at a time when the country was desperate because of power shortage.
Several reports, including of the Auditor General and Parliament Ad Hoc Committee, recommended recovery of some taxes from Bujagali investments, but in vain.
By the fact that you are now proposing that we extend to 30th June 2032, are you convinced with the recommendations? Have they been worked on that we can now look at extending the exemption?
Last financial year, Parliament declined to give us anything. We went back to HE, the President, and he insisted that that waiver must be provided.
The Income Tax Amendment Bill 2025 also seeks to exempt citizens who start up business from tax for 3 years, but the MPs request for 5 years instead.
This proposal deals with new startups, new SMEs which fall within that category. And where we are coming from is that we could observe that the majority of SMEs, startups, actually do not live beyond the first year.
The move is to increase market access, especially to the East African region, since the citizenship covers East African community.
And that's what we already have, even for all the incentive within the tax laws.
Members, let's first listen from the Minister.
I want to plead with the committee that much as we want to be Ugandans, we should know that in terms of market, we are looking at the East African community market.
The Uganda Revenue Authority is looking at considering the use of NIN numbers to remit taxes contrary to the TIN numbers.
They were having problems. So this would facilitate especially those up country. But the question is, your current system with all these ledger problems we talked about, can you hold all that information?
The URA has integrated with the NIRA, NITA, and URSB. And the current integration activities include all other MDAs where such information is required.
Another area was the issue of the penalties under IFRIS, as government is to phase out the 6 million charges for defaulters, but rather double the penalty.
Isn't there a limit if someone now, the default is about 100 million, you double? Is there a ceiling? What is your opinion?
6 million appeared to be unreasonable in some circumstances.
When asked whether the current status quo penalizes the defaulters of tax through IFRIS, Minister Musasizi responded in tongues.
If you default, should there be a penalty or not? The answer is there should be. Should the penalty be 6 million or less? So in circumstances where the default is less, you should be charged something reasonable.
Musasizi also denied knowledge of any said executive order stopping the 6 million charge on defaulters of IFRIS.
There is an executive order. Have you harmonized with the President?
I need to check whether we have an executive order. Because I have not personally seen it.
Cayenne Faith, Dan Mugoya,
because those values keep getting affected by inflation and other factors.